Actually, it does say average man speech at the top of this. Charlie, I've got to start on behalf of the bridesmaids and myself. Thanks for your kind words. I'm actually blown away by it. I thought you were going to literally wait until I ruined this before you mentioned anything. Lisa, I'm so proud that you're joining the Welch family, and today you've looked absolutely stunning all day. I can't believe that he's managed it. As was mentioned, about 3 weeks ago, we went to Harry, our cousin's 21st birthday, and it turned out that we have no idea how a wedding runs, this being the first one we've ever really been to. So my Auntie Julia brought out the Debrett's Guide, which is a big etiquette book. And in there it told me that my speech has to be brief, funny, and never smutty. So, thanks to the last one, I've lost 90% of my material. But at least I'm going to be brief. It also told me that I've got to present Charlie to Lisa's family. So you'd think this would be an excellent opportunity to come up with some embarrassing stories about him and how he's been really drunk in some inappropriate places. However, he's squeaky clean. Or if he's not, he's paid a lot of money to keep people quiet. It's unreal. So, I've decided instead I'm going to speak to you about some of his character traits that you may or may not be aware of just yet. He's a shrewd businessman. Always has been, from a very early age. When he first got to senior school, he used to walk to school, and he plays the cornet, as most of you probably know, which meant that he had to take that into school a lot. He used to also walk into school with a guy called Dave, who isn't actually here, but was on the stag do. A sizable chap, bigger than Charlie, capable of carrying a cornet. And Charlie managed to strike a deal with him, that if Dave carried his cornet into school, he was allowed 2 sips from Charlie's water per journey. And on a Friday, Dave could have anything he wanted from the newsagents to the value of 50p. Genuinely true. Dave, by the way, is an absolute mug. He's a legend. Charlie, don't believe him with all this Lisa organises him stuff. He is frighteningly organised himself. It's unbelievable. When I left home for university, he moved into my bedroom within probably 30 seconds of the door closing behind me. And while he moved in, it meant that he could completely rearrange the place, redecorate. And this process led him to organising some of his odds and sods into boxes, about shoebox kind of size, which he labelled. Now, some of these labels were quite spectacular. My favourite one was the one labelled wristwear. Has enough wristwear to fit in a shoebox. And then who has the desire to label it? He's also subjected this trait to Karen, the vicar, today, who went to visit them at home and asked in one of their various meetings whether they'd thought about hymns that they wanted at the wedding. And Charlie, without missing a beat, immediately turned around and said, "Thought about them? We've been singing them all day." This was about 18 months ago. These character traits, as Charlie's already mentioned, didn't sit well with everybody, and Rose immediately springs to mind. She's been on a mission to knock his teeth out.
She nearly did.
She did. And for those of you on each table sat closest to me, if you just go under your chairs, you may find some pictures. And this was Rose's attempt at changing Charlie's winning smile The first one is a before. The second one is after she's managed to eject him from a wheelbarrow face first. Yeah. And then she didn't manage to truly complete the job until you see him in the deck chair where she managed to slam his head in the door. And then it worked, the tooth came straight out. Talking about Rose, every table should have some if you go under there. Talk about Rose, I've been trying to track her down for an email or something to be able to read out. And fortunately this came through pretty much last minute, through to Lisa's mobile. And she's sent, "Happy wedding day, sister babe. You will be in my thoughts the whole day, enjoy every second of it. You are a beautiful bride and a beautiful person, and I am so happy and proud that you are part of my family. Send my love to everyone. Love, Rose." There's several people that have sent cards and gifts and good wishes. I've got a lot down here, and I'll pass them on to you later. Too many to mention, to be honest. Finally, although I say I couldn't find anything particularly embarrassing about Charlie, what I have managed to track down is a letter. Now, this letter was sent to Lisa with the first ever Christmas present that Charlie managed to buy her. He didn't know what to get. He was a bit nervous and decided in the end that he'd go for a pair of gloves. Now, the problem with this is he also went with Rose to buy these gloves and managed to go into a shop where Rose bought a Secret Santa gift for a friend at college. And the Secret Santa gift was a pair of knickers. Now, both gifts were wrapped, gift wrapped, and handed over, and they got muddled. So Lisa received a pair of knickers with this accompanying letter. "Dear Lisa, I chose these because I've noticed you are not wearing any when If it had not been for my sister, I would have chosen the long ones with buttons. But she wears the shorter ones, which are easier to remove. These are a very delicate shade, but the lady I bought them from showed me the pair she had been wearing for 3 weeks straight. And I hardly noticed any marks. I had her try yours on for me, and she looked very smart in them, even though they were a little tight on her. I wish I was there to put them on for you, as no doubt many other hands will touch them before I have a chance to see you again. When you take them off, remember to blow into them a little bit, because they will naturally be a little damp from wearing. Just imagine how many times my lips will kiss them. I hope you will wear them for me on our next date. Merry Christmas and all my love, Charlie. P.S. My mum tells me that the latest style is to wear them folded down with a little bit of fur showing. All that's really left, Charlie, is just to toast you and Lisa. I've already said, Lisa, I'm so happy that you're joining the family and you're now a squelchy welchy. I don't think anybody in this room ever doubted that it would be Mr. and Mrs. Welsh before long. And nobody else will doubt that it will be Mr. and Mrs. Welsh forever. So I'd like to propose a toast to that effect, to Mr. and Mrs. Welsh.